Okay, it's always nice when you have that check to make sure that you have sound working. So let's just give it a second here to stream through here, and then hopefully you'll be able to hear me if my sound is working. All right, I think I hear it. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully you made it through that first little glitch, and the rest will go much better. So tonight I promised you last night that I would show you the new washi tape. I pulled it out of the box on, let me think. I think it was right before I went to class Monday. I just pulled the stuff out of the box. So I hadn't touched it. I hadn't seen anything about it or with it. I just knew that it was something I wanted to try. So I hope that you'll be blown away as I was at all the great things that you can do with it. I'm sure that we will not, what's the word I want to say? We won't master them all tonight. There will be many more that you'll come up with or you'll see somebody else do. So I think it's going to be lots of fun. But before we start on that, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Let me just make sure that I'm able to see your comments. So I don't see anybody yet. If you're watching, could you just give me a little nod, a thumbs up or something to let me know that it's coming through okay. But I'm going to go ahead and keep going. I know some of you might have to pop on a little later. The first thing that I want to remind you about is that tonight is the deadline for my Funfold class. I had sent that out this week, the final reminder, actually the little bit of extension reminder for it. So we are using the beautiful gallery paper, and making an assortment of different folds, and I think it's one that you won't want to miss. Hi Linda, thank you for popping on and let me know that you're here. So that's one that you won't want to miss. And then of course we have this cute little purse. It has a magnetic, I put this on after I made it. It will be hit, you can hide it on your version, and on the video version it will be hidden underneath the paper here, but you can carry all of your cards and envelopes in there, or you can give it as a gift. It's always fun. I don't know if you're like me, but a lot of my family and friends love to get cards for gifts, and that is something that I have a lot of. So yeah, a great way to give a gift. Oh, hi everybody. Everybody's popping on. Hi Sylvia, Barbara, Melinda, Charlene. Thank you. Thanks for sharing this. All right, so the deadline for that is tonight. It's $52. You get all of that, all the supplies to make all of that. You get a PDF tutorial, a video tutorial, and the product that comes with it is half a pack of the designer paper, a full pack of ribbon, and a full pack of the gems. So it's definitely worth the money. You do need the Gallery Blooms bundle, the stamps, to complete that, to be able to stamp the parts that need stamped. And then I used a few other stamps, but you'll be able to adjust those. Okay, hi Jeannie. My rug under here is getting befuddled. No, that's my brain that's befuddled. Anyways, before I start with why you're all here, with the washi tape, I did want to quick mention a thing about our starter kit. I know some of you are already demonstrators, some of you are on my team, but Stampin' Up! Is offering a great starter kit this month. It is $165 worth of product for $99. It is a no-brainer bargain. New catalog, new products. I'm sure if you're like me, your list is huge. So $99 and free shipping has to be a really good enticement for you. One of the things that people always say is, what if I can't maintain the $300 every quarter? And the one nice thing about that is Stampin' Up! Does give concessions sometimes when it's, when it's needed. when family matters come up and things like that. You stay as long as you want, or as long as it's feasible for you. And there's no strings attached. So that's the cool thing about it. Now, what are you going to do with it? Well, you could start sharing with others. And so I wanted to give you an idea of some things that you might want to get with your starter kit. If you're thinking that maybe you like scrapbooking, maybe you'd like to share scrapbooking with some friends. I tell you what, meeting the quarterly minimum of $300 is really easy when you have a few people that you stamp with and they like the products as well. So I'm going to just flip over to my other camera so that I can show you some things. And so if you want, so I'm going to mention if you want to do cards or you want to do scrapbooking, these are the basic things that you need. And most of you who are on here might have these, but if you don't, this will give you a good idea. So our trimmer is fabulous, and I would suggest the trimmer and a pack of blades so that you'll never run out of sharpness. You'll need some adhesive, so I recommend the Seal Plus and a Seal Plus refill. And you always need dimensionals, so I recommend a mini and a regular dimensional. So that would be for both of those. Now, say you're going to go with maybe you love scrapbooking. I think you want to share with others what you love to start, because whatever excites you, I guarantee you, is going to excite somebody else. So you could add the Weekend Adventures scrapbooking kit. So this has three two-page layouts that you could teach them, or you could possibly sit with two other friends and you could each make one of the layouts, however you decided to work that. Or you could each get a packet and work together and make all 6 pages. And then there's a stamp set that goes with it if you'd like to do some stamping in your scrapbooking, which I love to do. And that gets you, if you add, let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, I also have written down, there's a two-tone cardstock pack that goes with this, and I don't think I have that yet, so I didn't bring that in here. But it's more 12 by 12 papers that go with the colors in this color scheme. And then I have, let me just make sure I have everything here, 3 ink pads. And so the ones I chose, well, I didn't choose the ones from here. I was thinking there's another, if you don't like the Adventures one, there's one called Memories in Bloom. That's more floral, if that's more your style. For these colors, we've got Black, Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, Early Espresso, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, and so on. So you could pick 3 or 4 colors from there. So you would have all of this stuff to be able to start your a little business, if you want to call it that. I hate to say business because you are not required to sign up and do a business, but I just want to encourage people that if you want to share with others, it's really easy to do. That's all I did. Everybody says, well, I'm not a business person. I wasn't either. I just loved what I did and I just shared it with everybody. And it caught on and everybody wanted me to be a demonstrator and do classes. And that's how I started. Now, let's go over to the card making side. Possibly the best thing that you could do if you're thinking, I don't have time to do this, like I did when I started. What if you got people together and everybody got a kit that they could make their own cards? This kit, this is the brand new one called Beautiful Blues. How beautiful is that? It's got the ink and the stamps in it, and you could get started having just a few friends over and making some cards from this kit. You could get several of these kits. You could get some of the 12 by 12 designer paper, and if you wanted to make extra cards, that would be a nice layer on your white paper. That's the one nice thing about the two-tone 12 by 12 paper, is that you can use that for like card layers and things like that, and it doesn't add a lot of extra weight to your cards. And I didn't finish out this one for like the total cost, but I just want to remind you, this is another kit that just came out. And this has a little gift giving box in it to put your cards in that you could give it as a gift. So it's called Share a Smile because you can make these cards and share them either by sending them or by sharing the whole packet of cards with somebody who likes to send cards. All right, so the kits are a great way to get started. Of course, you can customize your $165 any which way you choose. You can purchase anything you like. The one thing you can't do is go over $165. It has to be under $165 because in the sign up part with the free shipping, there is just no other way to figure the difference and figure tax and shipping just on a part of it and all of that. So you can, after you place your order for your kit, you can get set up in your online store and go ahead and place your first order like as soon as you sign up. So I hope that's helpful for many of you. Maybe you're a demonstrator and you needed this to just encourage others to maybe take the chance to take this great opportunity to get the kit. So I hope that's helpful. And I'm going to get stamping. How's that sound? All right, let's start with, let me just pull my pile of stuff over here. And I'm just praying that I have everything in here tonight because you know me. So this is the stamp set. This is the die that goes with it. And this is the washi tape. And you can find all of this in your annual catalog on page 84 and 85. And if it really was hard, I think, to, somebody's trying to get on and they can't find it. Let me just see really quick if I can't. Okay. All right, I think she's trying to get on Stampin' Up! And not here. So maybe, I don't know if she was trying to get on the video, if that's what she meant, but we'll get back to her when we're done. Is my lighting okay? Does everybody see okay? Anyways, such a beautiful page. I didn't even go here to get ideas, and I should have because they're beautiful cards. But I just want to show you, you're probably thinking, what in the world can I do with washi tape and a die? Just like me. So let's dive into it and see what we can do with washi tape and a die. Let me just put this aside for a minute. So I want to start with this card because I think it's the prettiest one. So we go downhill from here. No, not really. I'm going to show you a bunch of different ways to use this, but this is probably the simplest way. So for this card, I have Petunia Pop as my base. I used a little strip of fresh freesia in here under my ribbon, and I just love how it just gives that little step down to the color. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just thrilled with how this turned out. I'm also using for some of these, I've shown you this before, and I think it's so pretty. It's the Glass and Gardens embossing folder. So it has these two. We used this at our team event. If you were able to come to that luncheon, we used that one for one of the cards. But this is the glassy one, and it does look really cool, and I just love it. It's very, what do I want to say? It doesn't have a particular theme to it, so you can use it for so many different things. So I did the white piece in that, and next I want to show you what I did with the washi tape here. I'm also, I didn't bring my my brayer in, but you can use a brayer. I did try it and it worked half decent. I'm going to do this on a window sheet. Now we're also going to do it on other things, so don't just go like, well, I don't have window sheets, I can't do that. The other thing I was thinking was I keep the firm piece inside here to hold my stamps, and I'm actually leaving this whole stamp on it because I'm not putting it on a block. I'm just leaving that on it. But anyways, I leave that in here. And the thin piece that comes off, I'm thinking you could possibly use that because the washi tape needs some base to go on so that you can run it through the machine and not have it stick to the plate. All right. So when you start this, it's a little difficult to make sure that you get it nice and pulled out nice and straight. So I'm going to just, and there's 2 color schemes I found. I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. It does come up if it gets wrinkles or something and you want to start over. You can do that. Wow, this is going on nicer than it did when I was practicing. So, well, that's a nice thing to happen, right? I see a couple wrinkles right here. I might just pull that up again. It's sort of like when you put wallpaper on, you need to like put it down, or vinyl if you're doing vinyl stuff. And I'm going to cut it off here where the colors change, just because I already have a bunch of pieces and stuff. We'll do that one for the next one. All right, so what you can do from here then is just take it and put it in your Big Shot. All right, I'm just going to turn that off. This new phone, I don't know how to do it. Okay, there we go. I never usually have that much interruption when I'm doing a video. Okay, so I'm going to lay it here, and then I'm just going to look where the dies are going to fit. Do you see how they fit over that just perfectly? And if you get over top of it and look straight down, which I can't do with the video, but you'll get lined up the best. Put my plate on top. I would love to know, whoops, I didn't go back out of that. I would love to know how many of you have this washi tape, if you've used it yet. Like I said, mine just came, so I would guess not many of you have this yet. You heard that crunching, that was the window sheet cutting. And I only ran it through once, and they pop out really well. Look at that. Let me just set this aside for a minute. What I found myself doing with these different techniques is keeping them separate, because as you'll see when we're done, they look different. So here's some of the ones that I did that I haven't used yet. And so here you have these perfectly cut out pieces you didn't have to color, you didn't have to do anything with, and they're just gorgeous. And they're translucent, like you can see, let's see if you can see, like you can see through them, because the washi tape is translucent and the window sheet is totally clear. But I still was able to use dimensionals. They showed a little bit on some of them, but not enough to matter. I can't pick this up. So shiny on the back. In fact, you could even possibly use the back because you still see the pretty design through. I didn't try that one, but now that that flipped over there, it gave me the idea that you still have, you would have a different muted look, but very pretty. All right, so now we have those done, and I just put dimensionals on those and popped up a bunch on here with my pretty striped ribbon. And that's it for that card. I'm not going to show you how to put the card together because I think you know how to do that. Actually, I did have stuff here to do that card. I guess I could. Just really quick, maybe I'll show you how I started it, because so first I put the white piece down, and I actually failed to cut this correctly. So let me just grab my cutter here. The reason this design ended up like this with the color on the side was purely not because I'm a genius, as most of you know already. It's because it's a piece that I had, and that's the size it was, and it was like, oh, well, this might work here. How many, tell me you don't do that, right? We all do that. It's like, well, this piece looks good. Let's try this. I think I got that a little smaller. This one was cut down a little further, but I think it's still going to look fine. There's two sides, of course, to this, and it's really hard to choose which one, because out here they are raised, and then these little I want to call them little icicles, little glass particles here, are indented. So they're raised here, so I'm going to keep that as my raised part. And we're just going to put some adhesive down here. And then this little piece, we're just going to, I see I don't have any fine tip glue in here. That's great. And then the ribbon, I know I brought it. Where did you go? Here it is. So I'm going to tie that the whole way around. So let me pull this out here and give myself a nice amount. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Okay, so nobody's gotten it yet. Cindy, did you get, I don't think you placed an order for this yet, did you? The washi tape? Okay. It's brand new in the catalog, so we could only start ordering it May 6th. And so I'm not sure that I placed this order right away, because I think I forgot the washi tape on my first order. So this might be my second order, but it's still like, you know, takes like a week and a half, 2 weeks to get things here on the East Coast sometimes. So I'm just going to tie this around here like so. And did I put any adhesive there? No. Is that ribbon not yummy? And it's reflecting, it's iridescent, so it's reflecting the purple. It's just so pretty. And these are so gorgeous. So I just grabbed a bunch of these. I wanted some things sticking out like a flower arrangement. And of course I wanted the purple ones in this one. We're going to use the other color for some other ones. And I just popped a few dimensionals on some of them. On the ones that are sticking out, I did them flat. I just put some green glue on those and stuck them down, and they are sticking fine. I was shocked that that worked on this window sheet stuff, but it really does. So that's nice to know, right? And this works really well on window sheets. So it's a great, Seal Plus is a great adhesive on that. So that's how I did that card. Let me just scoot that aside for a minute. Next, I'm going to go to stamping on, because I messed up this, but I want to show you how you can use the stamp with this. Yours is on its way, Melinda. Good. Let's see. So I'm leaving this right on here instead of grabbing a big block. I do have a big block, but I really hate using it. So I'm just going to ink this up good. And I've already used it, so I've already done the inking it, and then I turned it over and just sort of rubbed it on my scrap paper to get anything that was on there from the production of it. I think there's always some for little fine junk on there that makes it the ink not stick to it. All right. I'm trying to think if I'm doing this the way I wanted to do it. So yes, I'm going to take my piece of paper. So I'm doing, I think it's about 3.5 inches long, because this is just a little past 3 inches. And I'm just going to put my paper on there and just give it a good rub. And there we go. Now I'm going to take this piece that I accidentally stuck on a window sheet. I'm going to see if I can pull it off. And we're going to put it on here. Like I said, you can pull it off of here as long as you don't rip it. I was thinking I was getting ready to do this technique, but then I forgot that I have to put this on the actual paper. I might have made a mess. Okay, let's turn it this way since I have to hold this. All right, so what I did then is you can see through this. So the closer you get to it, you can see your stamping. So I find my lines, and I decided that it doesn't need to be perfect. You know how they do the designer paper sometimes where they have the lines are not exactly on their watercolor or whatever. And so that one's the worst because I was heading over that way. But look how cool that is, right? You can see those lines right through there. So compare that to this card. I'll show you the card with it, but compare that to this that doesn't have the lines. It's just a totally different look. They're both beautiful, but it depends which look you want. If you want if you like the actual lines, or if you like this more wispy look of no lines. So, and then this cuts out just the same as we did before. Where you pop this on here and cut out all your pieces. I was worried that the washi tape would stretch, and you notice we just pulled that back off of plastic and it did not stretch at all. So I'm really happy about that. That moved, but I think it went back to where it was supposed to be. That's always a good thing, right? Hi, Sharon. Oh, and hi, Barbara. Better late than never, right? Okay, so let me get these out of the way here. I just think they're so pretty. I probably like this color more with the ink on, and the other one more, and I don't know why. It's just it's obviously a personal preference, and it's not something I'm definitely going to stick to. But so those are all the stamped version. Now there's another way that you can stamp it, but I didn't want to do it, but I know that it will work because Stays On stamps on anything. So I could have left that on the window sheet and stamped it with Stays On, but I don't want my stamp all stained. And some people do the Stays On just because they like the lines. They like it to be black, and then you can see where everything is. But whoops, I personally decided that that's a technique I don't need to do because I really like this. Turned out well enough for me. Obviously the Stays On top is going to give you a darker look, so that's just another option, one that I'm not going to do right now. Okay, so here's a couple samples with the purples that are stamped. I just did a little scoring here, a ½ inch in from the two sides. I scored a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, and the same here, just to add a little texture to a really simple card. No great shakes there, but I used these really pretty gems that I've only used the yellow so far. I think that's the Starburst gems, and so I think they look really nice on this card. And then here's one where I use that same background embossing folder, and again it's the purple ones, but they're stamped. And I pulled out some blue here. It's more turquoise, but I used Azure Afternoon as my base for that. And then here's one done with these colors. I used Strawberry Slush. I should have embossed this, but you know when you're designing, sometimes you're not sure what it's going to turn into, and then it's like, oh shoot, I have everything glued down already. But I just did them in a little swag. Just put them all in a row up the side of the card. I like how that turned out, and I add this same ribbon again. I did a little touch of Poppy Parade under there just because there's a little bit more red. Maybe red would have been better than Poppy. There's a little darker shade in there. Watermelon would have been wonderful. The one, do you guys still use watermelon? All right, so that's technique 2. Let me find my container for that. I still have more ideas to show you guys. All right. Suppose you want to use your stamps and dies alone, but you want to have some design. I saw this idea from Sharon Armstrong, a gal that I met, I think on a cruise. We were table mates. So I pulled out one of our in color papers, you know, the DSP that we have that has all the different designs on it. And I just love this paper. I like this side a lot, but since we're using flowers, I used this side. So all I did, hi Lori. Oh, I know. It's so much fun, isn't it? So I just used the stamp directly on here, inked it in black. Obviously, this isn't wide enough. I inked it and cut it just like I showed you with the other ones. And I ended up doing this card. I used the soft wave for the background and the really pretty in color. And it's funny, somebody at class today just asked me if I liked Timid Tiger, and I'm like, I haven't used it yet. Well, I've used it now. Look how pretty this ribbon is. It's like, let me see if I can get a good look. Oh, my camera's not cooperating. But it's like, it looks woven when you look close at it. It's got a little tiny shimmer to it, but it's real pliable and really easy to use. And boy, do I love these flat gems, these flat pearls. So, yeah, so that's just cut out with a background. And you can use almost any designer paper as long as it doesn't clash with your stamping design. Now, of course, if you would put this in your Stamparatus, which I did not because I didn't want to add that as another tool. But if you put this in your Stamparatus, you could stamp it a couple of times so that this will be a little darker for you. Any of them you could do that with. All right. All right, so that's that one. That's stamping on a designer paper. And lastly, I think oh, maybe not lastly. I have a couple things. Oh, yeah, I have a couple more things. Let me go to this one first. I thought, so I put it on white paper. I put it on window sheets. What if I put it on a colored paper? And look what it does to it. Let's just see if I can pull this out. So here's the white and here's the colored. It just gives it a totally different look, right? How cool is that? Because now when I cut these out, let's go ahead and cut them and see what that looks like. Get the right direction here. Then we won't have a white edge on. It'll be colored. I think I need to move that up just a hair. All right, clear plate. Run it through. Thanks, Jeannie. Glad you like them. All right, so this is what we have with the strawberry slush background. They're so pretty. And I think they look really nice on white. Don't mind the color of the background, but I think they'll stand out really pretty on a white background because you won't have that extra white around the edge. All right, so I have a sample with the purple one, I think. Let me find it here, maybe. Oh, I didn't make it yet. I was going to make that for you. So I was like, well, while I'm doing this, I'm using all this purple, all this pink. I did the orange and the green, but I wanted to pull out some of the this peacock color because there's a lot of peacock color in here. And I thought, I'm not going to glue it on here because I'm not sure that I want the purple background. But I did these on the purple paper, okay? But I decided that it needed something white. I was trying to make a little bouquet here. And I was like, I don't know. And so when I pulled this little jar out and punched it out, I'm like, I think that's what I needed. So let's just see what it looks like if we start doing a little bouquet here. Maybe this should go over here so it's not hanging out the card. It's a little hard. It sort of feels like you're trying to, at a greenhouse, trying to do a flower arrangement, but you can only use what's on hand, and this is what's on hand. And sometimes I'm not sure what to do because I tend to always put the flowers together and the little leaves sticking up. But these little pieces are nice to add little height to your design. And then we can, that's too much like that one, so I don't think I'm going to use that one. I have to say, there we go. Isn't that cute? I think it looks pretty awesome, if I must say so myself. And then you've got these extra little flowers if you want to do some dangling here or there. I have to say, these little guys are so stinking cute, but I haven't done anything with them because they haven't gone with my theme. So if you guys get this, I would love to see what you do with these little ones that don't feel like they're part of, like it almost looks too tiny to go in here. I don't know, maybe it would be okay, but it looks like it should be a bigger flower for the type of flower that it is. I don't know. What do you think? All right, I don't think that needs a lot else. I'm planning to add a ribbon, and I'm not sure yet what, but maybe something like this. And I could stamp my little greeting right here. Maybe you guys can give me some thoughts on that. All right, I have one more little thing to show you, and I don't think I'm going to be showing you. I think I'm going to just be telling you because I don't want to mess that up because I like how that is. I'm going to just try to lay this over here, and I will try to post all of these for you then. And I don't have a purple one to put together. All right, I'm trying to keep these all separate so that when I go to make more cards, I don't want to put like stamped images with non-stamped images because I don't think they will go nice together. I think you need to choose one or the other, so I'm just keeping them separate. The last thing I decided to try was embossing. So let me tell you what I did and then tell you what I think I should have done. So I put the washi tape on my window sheet. I left a little bit of it showing because I wanted that shine. Do you see that shine on the edge? Isn't that cool? Then I stamped like I did with the black. I just stamped with Versamark. Of course, you definitely need to use your embossing buddy because it wants to really stick to this washi tape. Now, then you put your powder on, knock everything off that you can. My tip for this, I don't know if you can see this card wants to bend just a little bit. It really bent when I started heating it. The window sheet really bent, but I was able to get it to flatten down because I do have it on a layer of strawberry slush and then the card, of course. But I did at the end, I turned it down to number 1. You know how our heat tool has 2 settings? And mine's almost worn off. I turned it to 1 and it actually melted it, but I had it on 2, so I'm not sure. You might have to turn it up high first and then you can turn it down, and that doesn't bother the window sheet as much. I did notice I got a few more wrinkles in this probably from the heat. But I think that if I try it again on a lower heat setting, that I will be able to prevent that. But I do love how that turned out. And I used our gold, our new gold ribbon. One of the things, I don't know if you guys are struggling with this, is like, where do I find that? Is it in the catalog? Is it online exclusive? All I can say is if you're looking for a ribbon, search ribbon. If you're looking for a die, search a dies, embellishments and so on, so that you see them all and you don't miss stuff that's only online, because there is so much good stuff that's online that you will miss if you only shop via the catalog. Okay? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a cart. We have this new thing that we can do called a cart. And I can put these products in there. And if you would like the cart so that you know what all I used for this, you can click on it. I actually did this for somebody. And I asked her to send it to me because I needed to see what it looked like when it came because I hadn't seen it. And it was really nice. It said, you know, you can click on this cart. It won't mess up things that are already in your cart if you have stuff in your cart. It lasts for it's good for 30 days, but it will be ideas that you can actually you can pop them out of your cart, or you can put other items in, or whatever, if you choose to do the shopping, or you just want to see the ideas. So I think it's just an easy way where I can share with you what products I use. So I will make up that cart this evening, and if you're on my mailing list and I have your email, you can just say on here, I'd like the cart. I mean, if you have an account, you have to have an account with Stampin' Up, because otherwise I can't see you, or I can't pull you up. But if you're not on my email list, just say you want it, and I'll just, we'll get in contact, and I'll get your information so that I can send it to you. How's that sound? All right. I'm glad you like the cards. I hope that it inspires you to go stamp. And wow, that was longer than I thought it would be. Sorry about that. Thanks a lot for joining me tonight, ladies. Next week will be Memorial Day, so I will not be live on Memorial Day. So again, it will probably be Tuesday. So just put Tuesday on your calendar, and I hope to see you then. Take care. God bless.